So there I was, out in the field working that one day. Pretty soon, God come up to me. He says, "Son, you remember that rock over in the other field?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Go up to that." So I leave what I was doing. I go up to that other rock. God says, "Son, I want you to start pushing on that rock." I say, "Okay, God, I'm yours. Tell me what to do." He says, "Push on that rock until I tell you not to." Okay, God. Now I start pushing. Push on that rock all day. Go home that night. Go in the house. Wife says to me, "Honey, what'd you do all day?" I said, "Honey, I pushed on that rock." She says, "That big old rock?" "Yeah, that big one out in the field there." She says, "You think you're going to move that rock?" I said, "God told me to push it. Here I am." Next day I go out. Before the sun comes up, of course. Start pushing on that rock. Push with all my might. All my might. All night long I'm pushing on that rock. All morning long I'm pushing on that rock. Nothing. I go home the next night. Wife and kids, they say to me at supper time, we have a late supper, and they say, "Hey, Dad, what'd you do all day?" And I say, "Well, kids, I went out to that big old rock in the north field. You know that rock?" And they say, "Oh, yeah, Dad, that big one." I say, "Yeah." I said, "I was pushing on that rock today." I said, "Oh, Dad, did you move?" I said, "No, not an inch. I ain't moved that rock an inch." Pretty soon, morning rolls around. I go out there before the sun comes up, of course. Start pushing on that rock again. Starts raining and storming. I'm pushing on this dang rock. Big old rock. Of course, didn't move. Slipped, fell. Right on my face in the mud. Covered in mud. Pushing against this rock. Ain't going nowhere. Get home that night. Take all my muddy clothes off. Get changed. Get showered up. Go to supper. My wife says, "Honey, how'd your day go?" I said, "Oh, didn't go great." She said, "What'd you do all day today?" I said, "I pushed on that rock in the north field." She looked at me. Didn't say nothing else. Next day, I'm out there pushing on that rock. Buddy shows up. Buddy of mine. He says, "What are you doing out there?" I said, "I'm pushing on this rock in the North 40. He says, "Well, how's that going?" "It ain't going good. Look at it. I ain't moved it." So he decides to help me push. Another buddy rolls up, helps me push on that rock. That rock didn't move. This ain't a 2 or 3 man rock pushing deal. God told me to push on that rock, so I keep pushing. That night, buddies go home. I go home. Next day, pushing on this rock, and I'm pushing on this rock for weeks. Pretty soon, this one week, all these people, all the neighbors show up. They start watching me out their car windows on the side of the road, thinking, "Oh, maybe he's gonna move that rock." That rock never moved. Go home muddy almost every day. Muddy, dirty, wet when it's raining, cold when it's raining and storming, pushing on that rock. That's the other day, pushing on that rock, and I fall down, and I finally just sit down next to it. I says to me, "God, what's going on? Well, you got me pushing on this rock." God says, "Son, 'cause I told you to." And I say, "God, I ain't never gonna move this rock. This rock can't be moved by nobody like me. Can't be moved by 3 of me. Why you got me pushing on this rock if it's never gonna be moved?" God says to me, "Son, I didn't tell you to move the rock." And I say, "I sure as heck know you did." He says, "No, I told you to push on that rock." And I say, "God, why you got me pushing on a rock that I can't move?" Why are you telling me to push on this rock if you and I both know I'm never going to move this rock? This rock's been here since at least your man Noah got off that boat and the water's receded. And it'll be here till your son comes back and burns this place up. This rock ain't going to move. God says, son, I never told you to move that rock. Son, I want you to look down. And I look down. God says, son, I want you to look at your hands. So I look at my hands. And God says, I want you to look at them and notice. I look down and my hands are stronger. God says, son, I want you to look down. Look at your arms. I look down. My arms, they're like my hands are dirty and they're scarred up, but they're stronger. God says, son, now stand up straight. I stand up. And I ain't taller, but I'm standing straight. And God says to me, son, I didn't have you push on that rock to move it. That's my job. I had you push on that rock in order to grow stronger. I had you push on that rock in order to show me your obedience. I had you push on that rock to prove to me that you're mine and to prepare you for all the other things I'm going to have you do in your life.